Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of these designs. They were done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dot modifiers and line modifiers on 4 different shaped letter stems to make our consonants. And vowels are a bit trickier. They're these smaller circles here, and they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of the 4 consonant stems. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to these designs. It makes the most sense in practice. So let's take a look at our first simpler names. This is an individual name, and here's an individual name here, whereas this is a family crest of 4 names. You read the script starting at the bottom and going counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time, and like this gray arrow in the guide shows. Anyway, let's start with this name. So these outer 2 circles are just the sentence circles or decoration circles, and you can add divots to them, and it doesn't change the meaning. It'd be a spot where you could add punctuation, but again, this is just a name, so there is no punctuation in it. Our word circle itself starts here, and this is our very first letter. So out of the word circle, which is this circle here, there is this shallow divot chunk taken out of it, like a bite out of a cookie, and that's this stem here. And attached to it, there is one straight line, plus these 2 thick curvy lines. And it's okay that the line curves around and connects back in on itself. What matters is on this stem, there are 1, 2, 3 lines coming off of it, making it an S. And then we have our next letter. It's a little circle, so it's a vowel, and it's outside the word circle, so it's an A. So here's an A, continuing around. Here we have our next letter. It's a circle on the line of the word circle, like this. And there are some dots by it. There's this dot inside it and this dot outside it. And it's okay that the dots are inside, outside, wherever. It doesn't matter so as long as you can tell that this dot is closer here and this dot's part of the circle as well. So 2 dots makes this a Y, and then we have another A at the end. So S-A-Y-A is our first name. And then our next name here, bottom of it's here. Again, this is our sentence circle. And even though this looks like a regular divot, it's important that these 2 lines end on these stems, because these are actually line modifiers on this stem. So our first letter is this shallow divot here with 1, 2 lines ending on it. So that is a W. And then we have this I with a line going towards the middle. And it's important that this line ends on the I circle itself, not on the shallow divot. Otherwise, this would become an E and this would become an S. So now 2 lines on the W and 1 line on the I. So WI, and then we have these 2 circles here. And they're circles inside the word circles. They're both big consonant stems. And it's tricky to figure out which dots belong with which letters. So here's our first letter. And inside that letter, there's 1 dot. And then these 2 dots are all both slightly closer to it. So 1, 2, 3 dots makes this an L. And then this also has 1, 2, 3 dots, making it another L. And then we have the O, like a bead on a string on this L. So 3 dots on this L, 3 dots on this L. Again, this slightly closer nestled in between this line and this stem is important. Otherwise, this dot, you wouldn't know which one it belongs to. So anyway, it's a little bit over to the side. So a little bit closer to this one. So 3 dots here, and then 3 dots here. Here we have our last letter, which is another W, just like this W, with 2 lines on it. So W-I-L-L-O-W. So this is our next name. And here we have a bunch of names together. So this is the whole family crest. And I added these 3 little divots just to fill in the empty space between some of the names and add a little bit of kind of balance to it, some 3-way symmetry, and also kind of make it look like kind of a setting placed around the design. Like if you were to put a jewel in a setting, these like little divots kind of look like that. But anyway, this divot, and this divot, similarly to these 3 divots, they are just decoration, and the only thing they interact with are the outer 2 sentence circles, and the names are all inside. So here's our first name, bottom of it's here. Here's our first letter, and even though there's a bunch of dots kind of close to it, these 2 dots go with this stem, these ones go here, and these ones go here as well. And this is a line modifier ending on this stem. So 1 line on a circle inside the word circle makes it an N. And then the reason we know that this dot goes here, not here, is you can't have both dots and lines. So this being a line stem means that it can't have any dots counting for it, because it's for sure got the 1 line ending on it. So N, and then we have an I line going towards the middle of the word circle, just like this I here. And then we have this letter. There's another circle inside the word circle. So every single consonant here is in this row. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, making it a C. And this letter C is special. Only in names or proper nouns do you use the actual letter C. Otherwise, if you're spelling a regular word, like the word circles, like the shape, you would spell it S-I-R-K-L-E-S, because the first C in circles goes S, and the second C in circles goes K. So you'd phonetically swap it. But again, there is a letter C just for names. So C, and then here's a K with 2 dots. So N-I-C-K. And these two A's are both kind of close. We have to use context to know that Nick is a name all by itself without N-I-C-A-K-A. Plus, these circles are, they're pretty equidistant. So you just have to use context to know that this A goes here and this A goes here. Anyway, here's our next name. Bottom of it's here. This is a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines. Lines passing through stems do not count. Only the 3 lines ending on it count. So 1, 2, 3 makes us an S. Then we have a little A, and it's outside the curve of our circle. It's tricky to tell an A stem as opposed to an E stem on these shallow divots, because an E would be on the line of the word circle, right there, and an A is outside. So this is outside, making an A. So S-A, 1, 2 dots on the Y, and here's another A. So this is Saya again, S-A-Y-A, as opposed to S-A-Y-A. Then here we have our next name. It's got some chunks taken out of it to help with the overlapping between the names, because this one had those 2 W's. Anyway, so here's one of the W's, 1, 2 lines on it. Again, passing through doesn't count. So W, I, line going towards the middle, 3 dots on a double circle. So this double circle means it's a double letter. So this is the double L. And then we have the O. And then another W, 2 lines on it. So there's Willow again, just like this Willow, W-I-L-L-O-W. W with 2 lines, I, L with the 3 dots, double L, O, W. And then we have our last name, bottom of it's here. Circle inside the word circle with 3 dots. It's another L just like this, L. And then we have an A. And then we have an I inside the word circle with 1 line on it, just like this N here. And then an I. So L, A, and I, Lainey. So here we have Nick, Saya, Willow, and Lainey, all together in one family circle. These little lines here, they're just decoration. And then again, the outer circle is the sentence circle or decoration circle as well. Line thickness in these designs does not matter at all whatsoever, but I like having some thicker lines in the border to kind of help focus it. Yeah, so that's the explanation of how to read these designs. I hope you like them. Bye.